Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So welcome to Matchless Gifts again. This is, we've referred to it before, the dream wall, as the president here had a dream. Prabhupada was coming to him and telling him to make sure this wall was right. He shared with us last night that he told that story to his Guru Maharaj, who I won't mention who that is, but you might know. And his Guru Maharaj listened very attentively and then looked at him and said, "That was just a dream," and kind of walked away.
Oh.
And he said that he felt shattered at first, but then, because this is kind of the discussion we were having last night as we finished Satsvarup Maharaj's book, Life with a Perfect Master. He was saying that it was perfect. It was just what he needed, because he could, afterwards he realized that he was coming from a place of pride. But nevertheless, in my opinion, if you have dreams about Prabhupada trying to tell you to do something, that's glorious. Not to undermine the spiritual master, because the spiritual master has to do what the spiritual master has to do. But, but at the same time, it is, I think, amazing.
But just a dream.
Well, it's all just a dream, actually.
Yeah, it's all a mirage.
Mirage.
Anyway,
but here we are.
Canto 4, Chapter 26, Text 1.
We're starting a new chapter today. Haribo, Haribo. And also coming nearer to the end of this this canto, I think there are, how many?
No, not.
Yeah, it must be.
Loads.
That's 30.
31.
31. We're starting 26. Okay. So this chapter is entitled, chapter 26, as you said, but it's entitled, King Puranjan Goes to the Forest to Hunt, and His Queen Becomes Angry. Okay, looks like there's going to be some trouble in paradise.
All right. Om
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Okay, this is text 1 to 3. The great sage Narada continued, "My dear king, once upon a time King Puranjan took up his great bow, and equipped with golden armor and a quiver of unlimited arrows, and accompanied by 11 commanders, he sat on his chariot driven by 5 swift horses and went to the forest named Panchaprashta. He took with him in that chariot 2 explosive arrows. The chariot itself was situated on 2 wheels and 1 revolving axle. On the chariot were 3 flags, 1 rein, 1 chariot driver, 1 sitting place, 2 poles to which the harness was fixed, 5 weapons and 7 coverings." Jeepers. The chariot moved in 5 different styles, and 5 obstacles laid before it. All the decorations of the chariot were made of gold. These 3 verses explain how the material body of the living entity is under the control of the 3 qualities of the external energy. The body itself is the chariot, and the living entity is the owner of the body. As explained in Bhagavad Gita 2.13, Dehe no Ashminyata Dehe. The owner of the body is called the Dehe, and he is situated within this body, specifically within the heart. The living entity is driven by 1 chariot driver. The chariot itself is made of 3 gunas, 3 qualities of material nature, as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 18.61. Yantra Rudani Mayaya. The word yantra means carriage. The body is given by material nature, and the driver of that body is Paramatma, the super soul. The living entity is seated within the chariot. This is the actual position. And there you go. So Prabhupada, speaking as an authority, is letting us know that this is the facts. It's, it's quite powerful. I remember when I was first reading Prabhupada's books, and then in the Bhagavad Gita, when you read the introduction, as Prabhupada says, like, even if you don't accept this as truth, read the book, just for like suspend, I'm now just using paraphrasing, but like suspend your belief and read it in a mood of everything I'm reading is real for that time that you're reading it, if that makes sense. Like the point being that, okay, you may be looking at it and thinking, I don't understand this and I don't accept Krishna or this or that, but read it. And it's interesting because when you read it like that, it just takes your faith and the whole experience of reading to another level. Truly, it's true. So when I was reading this, it's like, even as practicing devotees, you have to keep being reminded, you're not your body, this is, this and the basic facts, So then Prabhupada just giving a basic fact that you're a spirit soul, you're situated in the heart, there's a Paramatma that is superior to you, and the body, you've got a material body, and it's just like, it's just like the train that I got, the tube that I got to get here, basically. It's just a functioning thing. It's a functioning thing. If I got upset when I left the tube today because I'll never see you again, or when am I going to see you again, and people think you're stupid. Maybe not.
Never. She's not referring to me. You're referring to the train, right?
I just said the tube. So like
subway here, but yeah.
But anyway, so but what I was gonna say, got interrupted, is round here they may not think you're stupid because it's so crazy round here. So no one bats an eyelid actually in New York. It's quite in the Lower East Side anyway. They're quite chilled, the crazies. But anyway, that's the point. The tube. I don't think of that train now. I'm not thinking, where's it gone? What's it doing? Is it all right? It's gone. But it had its function to get me here.
Thank goodness it got you here.
Yeah.
Safe and sound.
Yeah.
Okay, next paragraph, because it's quite a long purport.
All right.
The living entity is always being influenced by the three qualities: sattva, goodness; rajas, passion; and tamas, ignorance. This is also confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 7:13. Tribir guna mayer bhavai. The living entity is bewildered by the three qualities of material nature. These three qualities are described in this verse as three flags. By a flag, one can come to know who the owner of the chariot is. Similarly, by the influence of the three qualities of material nature, one can easily know the direction in which the chariot is moving. In other words, one who has eyes to see can understand how the body is being driven, influenced by the particular type of quality of material nature. In these three verses, the activity of the living entity is described to prove how the body becomes influenced by the quality of ignorance, even when a person wants to be religious. Narada Muni wanted to prove to King Prachini Barhishat that the king was being influenced by the tamaguna, the quality of ignorance, even though the king was supposed to be very religious. So yeah, very nice how it's introducing the three modes of material nature. And just as I was reading that, I found it very interesting how the three modes were compared to flags. And depending on which flag is flying, everybody else can see, which mode you're functioning in. And then it seemed to say that one can also then more or less predict and determine kind of in what direction the chariot is heading, in which direction the person is heading. So you can see, okay, this person's very passionate. And what does the Bhagavad Gita say about passion? Is nectar in the beginning and it is poison in the end. And we see it's going to basically wind up and degrade, most likely, into ignorance. Although sometimes if you're in ignorance, it's good to get a little bit of passion that might catapult you into goodness. But generally, passion leads to ignorance. So like that, I was thinking how, you don't have to be a great soothsayer, but soothsayers have knowledge, and therefore when they see how things are functioning, they can certainly make a very likely prediction of where things are going to wind up.
Next paragraph. According to Karma Kandya, the process of fruitive activities, a person performs various sacrifices directed by the Vedas. In all those sacrifices, animal killing or experimenting on the life of animals is to test the power of Vedic mantras is enjoined. Animal killing is certainly conducted under the influence of the mode of ignorance. Even though one may be religiously inclined, animal sacrifice is recommended in the sastras, not only in the Vedas but even in the modern scriptures of other sects. These animal sacrifices are recommended in the name of religion, but actually animal sacrifice is meant for persons in a mode of ignorance. When such people kill animals, they can at least do so in the name of religion. However, when the religious system is transcendental, like the Vaishnava religion, there is no place for animal sacrifice. Such a transcendental religious system is recommended by Krishna in Bhagavad Gita 18.66. Sarva dharma
parijjaja mamekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma shuchaha.
Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reaction. Do not fear. Because King Prachini Bahishat was engaged in performing various sacrifices in which animals were killed, Narada Muni pointed out that such sacrifices are influenced by the mode of ignorance. From the very beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam 1.1.2, it is said, Dharma Brohija Kaitavotra. All kinds of religious systems that are involved in cheating are completely kicked out of Srimad Bhagavatam. In the Bhagavad Dharma, the religion dealing with one's relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, animal sacrifice is not recommended. In the performance of Sankirtan Yagya, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. There is no recommendation for animal sacrifices. Interesting. Animal sacrifices. There's quite a few prominent religions that only eat meat if the animals are sacrificed in a certain way, isn't it? So what does that say?
What does it say?
We don't want to go there.
Well, I mean, you'd only be repeating what was here, I presume.
Yeah. Anyway, we shouldn't do animal sacrifices. But that also means that, like, we might be like, anyway, yeah, that does, because some things you might read and you skip over it from the point of view of, anyway, I'm not involved in animal sacrifices, you know. And but we may be, like, if we're not careful about what types of shoes we wear, or what types of products we're using, or even just being in a situation where I'm picking things up that are, meat or whatever, or somehow anyway supporting this, you know, so it's all somehow going towards animals. Animal has been sacrificed somewhere for that thing. So you have to be careful. I remember when I was in Soho Street many years ago, one Prabhupada disciple came and she was giving class. By saying she, you must really know who I mean. And the temple room was packed. I think I came anyway before work or something. It was really packed. Morning class, I believe. Anyway, I was near the front though, and she someone walked in through the door, temple room door, which is at the back, the speakers at the, at the front. And she just honed in on that lady. I felt so bad. And she's like, you can't bring that bag in here, because it was morning class, so for the most part we were going to work, apart from the people that live there, so everyone's dressed in a certain way, in certain bags and that. And she said, that's leather, so you have like a handbag or whatever. I was like, whoa. And she was really heavy with her, and she had to take the bag out, which you don't want to do, leave your bag outside the temple room. And so she had to do that. And she was very strict on that this is a temple and the deities are here, and it's actually offensive to bring that product in, and trying to get that point across. And to some extent it's animal sacrifice, isn't it?
Interesting that, because Srila Prabhupada in London made the comment that when they were going to move from Bury Place to Soho Street, and he saw it, he said you could move the temple upstairs, and then the visitors or guests who are coming to the restaurant can go up and have darshan. And he said, and they can even keep their shoes on. So for sure they weren't going to be wearing non-leather shoes. So sometimes I think, and of course, I've quoted that at different times, and it's not a carte blanche to, then everybody can just leave their shoes on, with to speak of that it's okay to have leather. And I'm certainly not saying that or condoning it. Just that there may be time, place, and circumstance for, correcting or chastising someone when they come into the room.
That humiliated that person.
And also not trying to correct the person who said it, just that there may be time, place, and circumstance for these things. And sometimes I know, on that topic of supporting, well, you're saying animal sacrifice, but sacrifice is ever so slightly different from slaughter. So even though Prabhupada seems to be saying that, but at one place he said that, at least they can do it as a religious act. So, those who kill an animal, in a way that is apparently condoned or ordained by your religious scripture is different from, having products that are the aftermath of simple, basically slaughter. So, but anyway, sometimes to just take time and let people know that, and let it sit with them, inform them, and then I've found that over time they come to that realization themselves, and they themselves realize, this isn't right, this isn't correct, so like that. Maybe we stop here. We're in the middle of the purport, but we might go ahead and finish this off, but we'll do it in another reading. You okay with that?
All right.
All righty. So thank you all very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Please, please, please read the Srimad Bhagavatam. And it is leading up to Bhadra Purnima. And if you can in your local temple, please sponsor or get a set of Srimad Bhagavatams. If you aren't near a local temple and you're watching this and you're inspired, then you can contact us, and we would happily sponsor one here in New York at the Bhakti Center for you. So as matchless gifts. There you go. Okay, thank you very much, everyone. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.